Yes, welcome. Good morning. Hope the voice is clear and audible. Okay. Representing the Computer Science Department of College of Engineering, Chengannur, let us commence the fifth video session for S2C on the subject ST102 Computer Programming in C. This session we will discuss a little more about file processing in C, that is fread and fclose. We will share comments by sharing the screen. Okay. Today we are discussing fread and fwrite file operations. Through scanf and printf, we have seen how to read and write data from a text file. Here again, we are processing text data. Again, a structured data. Structures, hopefully we have learned already. So while using fread and fwrite, we will use the structure. So we'll commence it. With examples. Hope our voice and screen are clearly visible. Voice is audible and the screen is visible, hopefully. Okay. We will show one file to read and write data from a text file. We have the marks.txt file we have created last. Okay, let us see its contents. So it is, we know what all are the contents. This is the structure of the file. The first column, the roll number. Second column, T1 marks. Third column, T2 marks. Next, assignment marks. Then the total marks. Or final marks. maybe we have simply summed as in this case, or we could have done some other operations on the obtained data to arrive at the final marks. In this case, to simplify things, we have just computed the final marks by summing the 3 marks. Okay. Anyway, this is the data we have. So this is actually structured data. This is integer, floating point, floating point, floating point, all are floating point data. So it could be some other integer data, could be there, some string may be there, characters may be there, everything. So one line is identical to the next line, or one student's data and the next student's data are identical. The fields are fixed already, and we have filled the data against them. So that is what is structured data. So we could use a structured data structure in this scenario. So we have defined it, struct marks, struct or stru simplified, first roll number. We know it's contents exactly. That is why. Let me check just any feedback is there regarding voice or screen. Hopefully things are clear. Okay. So we have defined the structure. And the name of the structure is marks stru. And we have created one variable with that structure, marks. If we want more than one, we may create one more, or if we want an array, we may create an array of structures. This is a one variable named marks, and this is the name of the data type. Here it is a structured data. It's a user-defined data type. So structure, and this is the name of the variable. When we say int x, here int is the data type. Similarly, here the data type is structure mark stru, both together. And x is the name of the variable. Similarly, marks is the variable with the data type, this data type. Okay. So okay. Now what we have done is we have opened as usual two files. FM to indicate file of marks, FW to indicate we are writing to this file. So this is an existing file, that is, so we have opened it for reading. This is a new file which we have opened for writing. Two files, one opened for reading. So we are reading from this file and writing to the other file. That's all, nothing more. Okay, this file we have created from the last on the last day. It wasn't created using any particular structure, but we could see that we could apply structure here. So we are reading the data through a structure. Okay. So we are not individually reading each unit. That is, we are not reading directly the roll number, marks extra by the program, but it is read to the structure. So what we are doing is, okay, we will just add it to the file to make it more readable. fwrite.c. Now, what we are doing is, we are doing the contents of the file and writing to this. So fread and fwrite are used. So that both the structures of both are okay to see them aligned together. We will shift it a little. Okay. fread and fwrite are similar structure. What it is doing is, fread will read from this file string. Here fm is the file. So the last component, normally when we deal with devices or files representing devices, it will appear on the first, but there are other functions in which, built-in functions in which the source or destination file names or device names will appear last. Okay, here fm. If we are reading from this file, this much byte size of marks, that many bytes, and per unit, and 1 unit of such data, and the result will go to this field, this variable marks. So ampersand marks, this we have created here. This is one variable. So 1 unit will read, that is 1 line. 1 means 1 field. Okay. Size of marks, this many, how many bytes? This means it is in bytes. From this file fm, we are reading 1 size of marks unit of data, that means 1 line, and it will be assigned to this variable. And how many bytes are read? If the reading is successful, corresponding to the size of 1 line, that many bytes will be read. Okay, that will be returned. If you want, you could print that, but for our purpose, it is not required for the time being. Okay, so if it is greater than, means a successful read, or at least it is not a confirmed failure. Okay, so assumed that something is read. Okay, that means it is greater than C, or that means it will return an integer value, which will be the number of bytes read. Okay, greater than 0 means we are able to read something. Okay, now we are writing the same stuff through this file. fw opened for writing. fwrite, the same. The contents pointed by the first field will be returned to this file fw. Okay, 1 unit, and each unit will have, here 1 unit, maybe 2 units or 3 units, each will have this many bytes. That is it. Here we have reading 1 line at a time. That is why it is 1. Okay, since this will fit only 1 line, because it is have only that much space. Okay, 1 roll number, and 4 floating point numbers could be stored in this. Okay, so we have, it should be 1 here. Okay, we are reading and writing the file. Okay, now we will see the content of marks.txt we have seen. Okay, now we will remove data.txt if it exists. Okay, rm data.txt. Okay, so the file is no more there. Now we will create that is just to ensure that we are creating it anew. Actually, not need, even if it is there, it will be overwritten. Okay, now we will execute, compile and execute this file. File name is frw, so we'll give the same name. Hope things are clear, voice and text. Okay. Okay, executed. Now let us see the content of the new created file data.txt. Data.txt. Okay, the same file is created. Okay. This last line is twice. It is read and written. Okay, line feed is missing. That is why it is not there. Okay, that if you want, you could insert. Okay, we'll see later. Now things are hopefully clear. And for writing such a fread and fwrite, or for any file reading, we should know how the data is organized within the file. Okay, we know that we have the knowledge that the file has the structure. First is roll number, then 3 marks followed by the final session, like that. Okay. Now, or final marks or sum of marks, whatever. Anyway, for floating point marks, data fields are there. So we know the structure of the data file. So we could create a structure. That is what we have done here. Then we have used fread to instead of looping through roll number, T1 marks, T2 marks, assignment marks, and total marks. We have simply creating the structure, reading, and then we could process it also. Or here we are simply writing it to access each individual element. If we want, we may create a looker just to demonstrate that. But part we have already learned how this structure will work. Okay. If we want, we just to demonstrate, we could print of the contents of the file. Okay, if read the marks, okay, we could print percentage percentage 5.2 or okay 5.2, let it be 5.2f percentage 5.3f. Okay, that will do. Slash n. What we will print? We will print the roll number. Just the roll number percentage. Okay, marks dot. What is the first one? Field roll. Okay, marks roll, comma. Then what we will print? 1, 2 fields. Okay, we will print the T1 marks. Okay, marks dot T1, comma marks dot. Okay, we'll now print skipping the rest dot. Okay. Okay. 3 D F F. 1 decimal integer marks roll T1 total. Okay, we have done it. Okay. 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 And it is printing something different. Anyway, it is written the data into the data file. Now, why it is printing? This is the address, something else. Could you figure out? Our purpose is to print the three fields, marks and roll number and marks. Okay, but something else is appearing. What is the reason? The data we have read from marks, the file, and it is there in the marks field. Okay, but we are getting not the expected answer, but something different. Okay, based on the structures we have already learned, you should figure out and solve this. How to modify this, how to get the desired result. What we want is the marks T1, marks total. Okay. Now we will discuss another. Okay, before that we will see the structure, how exactly what is defined in the man pages about fread. Okay, and fread. See, fread and fwrite, it is as part of the stdio.h. So when we included it here, it will appear there. So there is no need to include any other header file. Okay, it's a two functions from the stdio file. Okay, size t, that is the type of the data returned by fread and fwrite. Okay. This is the file we are processing. Okay. Here, fm defined. So the file stream. Okay. And here is written function fread reads n memory bytes, nmmb, n number of memory byte items of data. This many items of data, each size this much, each of having size this much. Okay, size of marks. Here, if we get this explanation here, you have seen it from fm, it will read one field, one line of data, or one set of data, each having this many bytes of data, size of marks. Okay, if it is 2, 2. Okay, but we should have a space here to accommodate that. Okay. Now, similarly, data each byte long from the string pointed by string this one. Storing them at the location we've given by pointer. Okay. Similarly here, write pointer from where the data is taken, and each data is having this much size, and in this case we are writing this many units of data to this file. Okay. On success read fread and fwrite return the number of items read or written. So in our case it is 1. Because our size is 1. Okay. Now we will see another example. We will include the names in this and just a modification. Okay. frwn, already the file is already there. We will open that file. For WN identifiers or for name. Okay. Same file. This marks and slight modification. Marks and .text is read, and it is the output file is data and .text. What all are there? The additional content is name. We could read character string also. String is a character, right? it is a fixed size, so it is 20. Name field we have included roll number, name, T1, T2, A1, dot. Okay, marks. Okay, so the operations are similar. fread, from fm, one field at a time, size of marks, this all of them, so that much space. Bytes are read and it is assigned here. And this while loop is going on as far as a read operation returns a positive value. That means the read operation is successful. Okay. That means we have read data. It is not the end of file. Actually, fread won't identify between reading error and FEF. So we are dealing with that. So if write, then we will simply writing the content to the file fw, the file name. So we'll see what all are the differences. We are writing reading from marks and dot text. Okay, we will read that. What are marks and dot? Nothing. I have inserted some names, maybe taken from your roll number list and inserted at this position. 0 dummy or maximum. So I will make it as maximum instead of dummy. Micro marks and dot text. Okay. To maximum, since all names are in caps, we'll put this also. So okay. Okay, file is ready. The difference between the previous marks.txt and this marks n.txt is that we have inserted the names. Okay, we could read this also. If we insert a field here, margin, so it could accommodate up to 20 characters. So it will read from here and will create the file. Okay, some spaces further, forget, ignore this, such issues for the time being. Okay. Now we will compile this file and see the result. Okay. And the name of the C file is file reader write me. Okay. CEC -o frwn dot c frw. Okay. Now we will execute that file. frwn.c frwn.c. Okay, executed result, because now output is printed there. Now our console output is statement is here. The only operation is writing to a file called data and text. Okay, after this every operation, whether it is successful or failure, you could check. But we are to simplify things, we have omitted those error checking. Okay, and finally, okay, forgot to mention, we have in the previous program also we have closed the files fclose using fclose, fpm and fw. Okay. Now the contents are there in the file now created, that is data n.txt. Previously it was data.txt, data n.txt. Okay. Same file, every line by line, read and return. Okay. So the entire file is read, entire file is read. If you want to only retain some fields, that we should be able to do. Okay, that you could attempt. Okay, that I am giving as an exercise. That is, read these fields using this structure I will write it, but listen now that you may attempt this exercise. Using this marks in dot text file, read all the contents. And using this fwrite operation, create a file which have roll number and total marks only. It will read into this structure. So you may need one more structure, another structure in which you should have a roll number and a total. So we are reading roll number and total through this mechanism from this file, and then create another structure and copy the relevant fields to that variable having a different structure which will have a roll number and total, and then using fwrite create the total marks file. That is this some whatever name you assume you use this name. Okay, if I am writing, I will give suggest the file name. Okay, so there is a coding assignment. You may not assignment. The task you may attempt. That is read from this marks.n the roll number, name, 3 component marks and 1 final marks, and to create another file using fwrite in which it will should have only the roll number and the final marks. It is not the summation you have attempted here. You simply take this one only because the computation is already performed. You needn't sum this. You just maybe if it is something different, forget about that. Write this field only, but you should read everything. Okay. For that, you may need another structure. Okay. Now, okay, one we have learned maybe, I don't know whether you remember or not, put C, put character functions are there in stdio.h through which you could send one character to the output device or read from get C or get char from the input device, that is through the keyboard. Similar, it is available for a file operations also, even though it is not mentioned directly in the syllabus. But to improve readability, suppose after 10 the cursor appears here because there is no line feed here. If you want, you could simply f put c slash n fw. This is device. This is the character. F put c, put a character f into the file. So if the function is f put c, the device name, the file name, character. Slash n is a single character. New line. Okay, let us compile and see that. So it is not written to the same file. It is written using f put c, not through fwrite. Okay. We'll execute it. We'll see. Okay. Coming. Okay, we might not have saved. Okay. This. Compiling. Running. See. Oh. The new line character is appearing. Okay. Okay. Let me see why the 10th line is not coming. Let me check. Send out text. Send out text. Okay. Okay, is there. We'll recompile. CEC minus O fwrite into C marks and data in. Okay, fwrite data in text. Okay. Okay, cursor is overwritten there. Okay, 10 arch. Okay. 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 We have created again by for WN we have executed. Data and dot text is created. Data and dot text. What was the content there? Okay, marks and dot text. Okay. March now 4.5. Okay, the cursor is overwritten there. Okay. That may be an issue. That should not happen. Okay, we should see why this error has happened. Either it is due to the terminal overwriting or it is in the file. It should not happen. The 10th line in this data in raw text is not coming. We have to investigate. Okay. Anyway, that I will reply. It's not what I have expected exactly. I will reply exactly why it is not coming. This marks and dot text should appear and data and dot text also should be there. Okay. Anyway, the task I am giving is read the file marks and dot text and create another file in which you will put only the roll number and total marks, omitting other fields. For that you may create another structure which you have only roll number and total marks. So through a fwrite only you should write that. Okay. So repeating this stuff, I put C, you could write. If you to improve readability, insert an additional, because it's a data file, text file, you could same as inserting onto the console device, you could write a character. So it will improve the readability of the last line if you want. Okay, CEC minus O for WN for WN dot C. Okay. For WN. So what it is doing is reading this file and writing everything to the next file. That is marks data and text. Okay. Data in text. Okay. Okay, we are able to insert the line. it's not the full thing is not coming. We immediately will investigate. Now that is our duty. We should solve this problem. Micro. Let us see what is wrong with this data file. Maybe something may be wrong at marks end.txt. Maybe at the end of the marks.txt file. We will see. So micro marks end.txt, because we are not getting the expected output. Okay, this is a way of learning. Okay, we will investigate micro marks end.txt. This is the file from which we are reading and then writing, and this is the marks end.txt. Here what we are expecting is something like this, but we are not getting the expected result. So the reason may be it is reading the first character or first line, reading, okay, that it read successfully. While reading Archana, it read successfully, but while reading the next field, that is a floating point, something may be amiss. We will see what is that. Okay, we can't escape from that. We have to solve that. Okay, micro marks end.txt. Okay, let us see. Apparently nothing wrong there. Maybe some additional wrong characters are inserted there in between. We will check. Archana 4.5, 12, 6.5, Control S, Control Q. We will see whether again it is going. Okay, we have re-executed and okay, some 5 unwanted characters are there. That is why it is Archana. Now it is only 4 is there. 4 point. There was initially it was 4. Now it is 4 point is coming. So we will see again. We were not able to see that. Marks end. So it is not our program issue. It is some additional characters are which we couldn't see here. Some errors are there. So we will cut this line. Okay, we will see what is happening. Last line, some other characters may be there. Okay, let's see, save that. So 9 lines only. Okay, there is no logic in last line, create data. Maybe some unwanted characters. We'll see. And FRWN execute. Okay, that's a text file issue. File may have some unwanted characters. That's all. If we are able to remove that, that problem should solve. Don't worry about that. That's all. That is the reason. That should be the reason. If any other reason there, I will convey, because we are not getting the expected result here. The last line is creating some trouble. Okay. In a sense, what we have learned is fread and fwrite operations, for which we will use structures. A structure is created for reading. For that purpose, we should have an idea about the structure of the file. Here we know the structure of the file. That is why we have created a like this, having some fields, roll number, name, and other details. Because we know the details here. That is why we are able to do that. Then we know how to read the files. Okay, from this file to this variable, this many fields, and each field having this much size, and then immediately we have returned it to the file. Okay, our task is, the task I have given you is retain the roll number and final marks only, omit other things and create another file. And for that you should define one more structure, and which should and the content of that structure should be copied from the structure with roll and total. Okay, there I think we could end the session today. If you have any point to about this, either voice or text. The end of the session on file fread and fwrite operations.